That's so cute.
So adorable. These are the best. Let's go. I love the commitment. I can't believe I've never seen any of these. Very excited to have two of the K-pop Demon Hunters here today. We're going to put some TikTok videos up on the screen, and I'm sure you've seen a ton of videos at this point. Many. I think at this point, that's all anyone sends me. But it's awesome. Like, I have some favorites for sure. I'm hoping we see them today. Wait, I haven't seen this one.
That's so cute.
So adorable. Okay, that baby is so tiny and is already dancing.
I think it's the littlest K-pop Demon Hunters. If the baby did this, I'd be like, that's AI.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's fake. No, but that was very cute.
So
very
cute.
We have the youngest fans.
I was kind of waiting for it, though.
Okay. Oh, I love these. First time watching.
Me too.
Okay. All right. Okay. Second time. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
These are my favorites.
These are the best. Let's go. I love the commitment.
Is that a towel?
Yeah. So purple towel.
I will give it to you. It's a better faux wig than we tend to get from men on TikTok. That's true.
Oh, I've seen some really good ones. Really good. I've seen some dads looking, ooh.
So
like,
many
commitment.
dads. Unfortunately,
so
I have dads. I will have to look more deeply for better Rumi dad. Let's do
Are fans.
Oh my goodness.
That's so cute.
Wait.
Halloween 2025.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. They look so good. Look at that hair.
Oh my
the jacket.
God.
The walk. Oh my goodness. Look at them.
That's
Let's
so
go, sassy
cute.
queens. Oh my goodness.
I feel like Halloween's going to be wild for you guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's so cute. I love it. It's a band of roomies. Okay, it's so cute.
It's like the
Okay,
Fortnite parties that are happening here.
Yes.
They're all dancing.
Oh my goodness, my friends are sending me these of themselves. They're grown adults.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is...
Wait, is this at a sing-along?
Yeah.
They were...
It's a straight-up concert.
They are treating this like it's the Eras tour.
Wait, this is incredible. I haven't seen this one. Oh my god.
That's so sweet.
Whoa, this...
Sing demons back to the depths where they belong.
Oh my gosh. Wait, these are good. Wait, is it all one person?
I think
Wow.
it... Is it? Yeah, it is,
That's
right?
a pretty
Wow.
good cosplay.
Must have taken...
The cosplays are getting stronger and
Incredible.
stronger.
I've
Yeah.
seen some girls and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, teach me. Okay, Mira, okay.
Huntrix is in the balls. I will fight for a body of you.
I love writing that on autographs. I'm like,
cute.
wow.
That's my
Actually,
favorite.
that is the scene where I see the physicality in the elevator where they're like, yeah. I remember actually like
Doing that.
standing and
Yeah.
bouncing to make it sound like that, and they just put that in there. It's so funny.
Whatever. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was pretty good. I love how he made himself like God in the corner.
That is the angle.
Wow. This is actually pretty good. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. Wait, I can't believe I've never seen any of these.
Have you seen the
Really
bathroom
good.
mirror one? Where
Oh,
it's
that
like
was
three,
crazy.
and then,
yeah.
oh, it's so good. Yeah.
And I just have two more cosplays. These are little unconventional cosplays. I hadn't seen so many of these.
Where's the hunt?
Is this sussy? Okay.
The fans.
Oh! Wow, that's really good.
I think if Mira was another character
It should
in
be
the movie,
Sussy.
she'd be Sussy. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in the sequel we'll get to see her and Cecily
I want
like
to see
that.
her interact with them.
And then this one I
Maybe
thought was
Sussy
really
could ride the
funny.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, the flight attendant. Cute and savage. Oh, Oh,
That
whoa.
is so good.
Wait, that's so adorable.
That's such a good Halloween costume.
That's really
Right?
good.
Wow.
Yeah, people are. That's part of what I've enjoyed so much about this is like watching every time I get to see something different, but also watching people respond to it. And really, there's just so much of this movie. Watching them get to find different things to get excited about. I'd love to know about the journey of this because I know with animation, you guys do the voice work so far in advance of the movie coming out. But like in this, you're doing the voice work, but then you've come in and some of the songs were already recorded. So what is that like? You're like collaborating with animators and singers to create these characters. Can you tell me a bit about that journey?
I didn't hear any of the music.
Right, we didn't hear
Before.
any of the music.
Oh,
I was pretty much done recording all my voiceover. And then we started hearing, I actually think the first song I heard was Soda Pop.
Oh.
But that was mainly because of, you know, that big scene where we see the Saja boys. And yeah, I mean, it's such an interesting process. I always assumed that in animation, it's all done, like the art animation is done, and we come in and like basically ADR. But it wasn't like that. It was really fun to see maybe like, I mean, now it's been almost 2 years. The first session or so, we kind of go in and you see some sketches. You see like little scenes here and there, you see art, you see some animation, and then you kind of fill it in, and then they come back and they do it again, and it's really cool process. I love animation, and so I think it was especially fun for me to see how, in a way, it did feel collaborative.
Yeah. What was that been like for you to go from seeing like a sketch to seeing it all come to life?
It is amazing because it does kind of add to this, like, I am part of it, but I'm not, or like observing it from the outside or just watching it all come together where you're like, oh, this is what it is. Because I didn't, you know, you don't really know. You're just like a part of the whole. I'm not trying to quote the movie. Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, it's really cool to see it. And I cried watching it because I didn't see what it was coming to be until it happened. And I think it was just like, you know, when I finally got the link, it wasn't even finished then. Actually.
Right, yeah, see, so the screener link we saw maybe months before premiere was about, I think they said like 85%.
Yeah.
So there's something that I learned that the artists and animators do is they do this thing called lighting, which is like makeup for the animation, and it makes it glossy and beautiful and that like really incredible finish. And so when we saw that screener link, they hadn't finished all the lighting, but it still looked so good that, I mean, we were all bawling watching it. And it is such a cool process. And now to think back at it, I remember my first day going into the studio and being really nervous and overwhelmed because you're in this huge sound stage and it's just like this booth in the middle of the room with like camera set up, kind of like this, but camera set up. But then, you know, as an actor, you're kind of like, oh, wait, are they filming? I'm in like pajamas and no makeup on. You're like, is anyone going to see this? And then you realize it's just for the artists, just for reference. And so then you feel like slightly safer, but it's scary at first. I mean, I don't know if it was scary for you, but it was a little scary for me because I was like, oh no, they're all watching me.
Yeah, it's like the in-between of a take until, you know, before the next one where I feel like the animators probably saw so much candid, just like breathing or like preparing to do the next take, and that feels really personal and like so vulnerable actually, but only they saw it. So I feel like they know me and I don't know them yet.
But that's the thing. Now that I've like met so many of the artists, it's so fun for them to be like, oh, it's so excited to see, because they were saying they love watching our interviews because they're like, it's you guys in the flesh now, because they're like, we've seen everything you've done. They're like, oh, we research. They're like, we watch everything so that they can, you know, create and find those little quirks and nuances. So it's really, really fun.
Well, I'm curious what that's like because they are looking for your expressions to translate into an animated character. When you were watching the film, were there ones where you were like, oh, that's definitely me, or like, oh, that's definitely her?
I think I didn't really feel that as much, but I had friends commenting on that a lot. And then, you know, the artists, from what I've heard, and again, I'm not the artist or the animator, so I have no idea, but from what I've heard from a few, they've said they use everything as inspiration, right? Obviously, Maggie and Chris have their inspirations and what they use to draw their ideas and create these amazing characters, and I think the artists also use you know, I've heard they even use their like friends to kind of act out some of the scenes. They
Sure.
see us, they see random other clips, and I'm sure, I mean, you know, life is our inspiration for art. And so it's really fun just to be like a piece of it.
Sure. Well, I know you've been asked a million times, like, oh, what's your favorite line or whatever. But I'm more curious about watching it back because, like, you spent so much time in the booth and you give so many different takes and things. Was there watching the moment a moment where you surprised yourself and were like, I crushed that?
I don't know. I think the part where we're having the joint signing, anytime anyone, usually kids asking me like, oh, what's your favorite line from the movie? Like, can you say it? And it's like, just like, well, I got smashed her demon face on her. And was just so angry and then like so happy. And she's like, thanks for coming. And that I was like, oh, it sounds genuinely like Mira's so angry and then so happy. And it does not sound like mom that's on the phone pretending to be like in a good mood and then is like yelling at you the next second. It's not, it's genuine like anger and then happiness. And you're like, oh, it sounds real. Like it doesn't sound like a fake shift or something for the sake of like looking good. And I liked that. Yeah,
I love that. It does feel, I completely, it does feel very sincere. Like part of the reason the frustration here is like, this is a thing I love doing and why are you here?
Yeah. So I like that scene for that reason.
Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I think to pick one is really hard. I guess for me, I have like a soft spot towards some of the scenes with Celine and some of Rumi's like braver moments. I think, yeah, those are probably the moments that I'm like, ooh, I like that because it was fun to film, fun to record.
Sure.
And I've talked about this a lot. In a way, it feels quite healing. I feel like the movie has so much more than you expect from an animation. And as a Korean American and also as an artist, I feel like culturally we sort of grow up with so much trauma. And in a way, the movie, I think, helps you sort of approach and deal with it in a really safe, kind, loving way.
I love that.
And I love those moments when she's like, maybe they'll understand, And I feel like Celine's perspective sometimes, it's sort of like what we might feel as the world. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I love that.
I think I really connected to it, and I think I've told you both that my nieces really love this. And I think part of that is it reflects a message I think that speaks to me certainly and that I want them to connect with, which is the idea of like, whatever the part of yourself that you think is too weird or too ugly or too gnarly for someone to deal with, there's someone who's going to get it.
Yes, exactly.
And the sooner you can trust yourself to be who you are, the people who are going to get it are going to find you. I think that's why I cry every time I watch the ending where they like all finally come together. It's like, my nieces give me so much crap for that. They're like, why do you cry in cartoon movies? And I'm like, because Ariel has her voice back. Because now they're all coming together. Like that hits me hard, man.
And I'll never forget that first time that I watched that scene. Because again, a lot of the scenes with music, we didn't get to see them.
Yeah.
Right? So
I didn't realize that.
Right. So we're recording, acting through these scenes and sort of having to imagine what it will be like. And so I remember the first time watching the screener and like seeing those scenes, I will never forget that like overwhelming, just like ocean of emotions because you're just like, what? This is incredible. And to feel like it was brought together so perfectly, right? And I think that's, again, so much credit to our directors and producers and all the visionaries behind it, really putting all the pieces together. And, as voiceover actors, we have to trust the process a lot.
Sure.
Because we only have our voice and everyone else is doing all the other parts. So different from live action. Mm-hmm. And yeah. It is so powerful and so special.
There must be so much more trust you need to have because the idea of like when you do a live action performance, like you kind of have a sense of like, you must have kind of more of a sense of like what that performance is going to look like. Yeah. But here, you mentioned before, you're really trusting them with not just your performance, but yeah, as May pointed out, those moments in between. Like, how much is that when you're going home? Are you how does that feel? Like, are you like, I got it or I didn't get it? Is there a greater uncertainty there?
Because you can do it with your eyes closed, and I feel like you can really be sucked into it more, where there isn't, it's almost like a lot of other things of the hair and makeup where it's like, what do I look like? And not having to consider those things helps you to focus on the actual feeling of it. And I love that. I love that you can pour yourself into sort of the moment, or it feels more present because you don't have to consider all those other elements. And I feel like you can feel more that it's right because there's nothing else to have to really think about aside from like, what am I giving, like soul wise, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you relate to that, or do you?
I think for me, I 100% love this whole free feeling with no hair and makeup and no one feeling us.
Sure.
But I think for me as an actor, every piece is so important. I think wardrobe, hair and makeup, the style, it makes you ready to be that character. And for me, I feel like I always have this thing where I say, until I'm in my character's shoes, I never feel like her.
Sure.
Whether it's, you know, June from Avatar: The Last Airbender or like Ingrid from Partner Track, very different girls. But
Sure.
the second I'm in my wardrobe and the shoes, I'm like, oh, I can be this girl. So I remember after a lot of the voiceover sessions being embarrassed because I was thinking, oh man, everyone watching the filming is going to be like, she's so weird. Because I would be like in my head and I'd be like, okay, you're Rumi, you could do this, and like, you're cool, you're a pop star. But it's like, I didn't feel it as much because I'm there not feeling very, you know, pretty
like
or
that.
no, I know, but
so,
but that's the thing. It was in those in her like more performance scenes, like when she's on stage, when she's like, it's a song about us, or when she's with the girls, you know, hyping them up before the concert. I feel like those scenes were really hard for me. But then oddly enough, the big scenes, and I think that's why the big scenes are the ones I really like, because the ones where I'm very vulnerable and open, where it doesn't matter that I have no makeup on and I'm in sweats, I felt like I was in character. But then when we were glammed up, I'd be like, oh, is this hard? Like, one of the hardest scenes for me was really the opening, like the plane intro and all of that, talking to our demons, and that whole bit with the girls, because also at that point, I didn't know what Mira and Zoe would sound like. And Maggie and Chris did an amazing job of showing me as much as they could, and, you know, being the best voice actor counterparts for me, obviously, to fill in for the girls. But again, trusting.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm so glad that it all came together perfectly. But there's this weird feeling of like embarrassment in a sense, because again, the artists and animators watching us are like,
You weren't in your full golden outfit when you were recording?
exactly.
Breaking
news. How dare they? I can't believe they gave May a full golden outfit. She was just in the booth like, all right, I'm ready, girls.
Yeah, jingling.
Right?
Right?
I wish. Oh my goodness.
Did you get to record together at all? Because that's wild to me.
But that's why I'm also so impressed with our filmmakers.
Yeah.
Because, oh man, Chris and Maggie, they're so good at doing Mira and
They're
Zoe.
so funny. Yeah, they're so good at being you. They're so good at
'cause
being...
some of the hardest things were like our group chants or like anything like, okay, we're gonna do this. You know, like I think those things, again, we're doing it all separate because we have to get clean sound.
Sure.
And again, just because the actors were all around the world, everyone was in different places, and that's just very normal for animation.
Totally. The chemistry reads are so good in this that I was like, well, clearly they recorded some stuff together.
That's good casting,
Yeah.
I think. So,
Take me
you know,
back.
I think...
Yeah.
Well, it was
so
funny because
good.
we did get to do one session together, which was when we were doing promo, and we did our trailer together.
Yes.
So I think they did use pieces from that we did record. I think we did some of
One
that
scene.
live. Yeah, the one scene. But it was so fun, and we were like, wait, we should do this more.
I know.
Because I remember, too, even my last session, my last two sessions were so much fun. Because by then, I think I felt a lot more confident and comfortable, and I felt like I'd sort of found that sound for Rumi. And then I remember they had like, you know, we had schedules for things we were picking up, and then one of the last things, and they're like, okay, well, I think that's it. And I was like, what do you mean that's it?
I know, it feels so
it's done.
weird.
Like we're done. And they're like, no, and I was literally like, well, you know, if there's anything else, if something's weird, just just call me. I can come back. Like,
Wow.
it felt weird because when we film live action, we know so much more of what scenes are missing and what we need to pick up. It's just very much more clear. Whereas in animation, scenes were changing, dialogue was changing, and we don't really know, right?
Right.
Because we don't need to know. We're again.
Here are your new pages.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, this scene. I'm like, oh, we did this, and I'm like, oh, it's different, slightly different. Oh, I like it. Okay. So
Sure.
we're just we're there, and yeah, I remember my last day. I was like sad because I was like, oh no, we didn't even get to like bring cupcakes and celebrate.
But I mean, then, the surprise being that, like, you guys were under the understanding that it was going to go to Netflix, it was going to be on streaming, and then the response was so big that they did the sing-alongs. Like, what was it like seeing first the wave of people watching it on Netflix, but then hearing from Netflix, like, hey, we're going to do sing-alongs in theaters?
I was like, you don't need to put the lyrics. Everyone knows them already.
Yeah.
It's so cool. At the theatrical release, I think I hear it a lot from fans, like, oh, and we went to the sing-along. Like, that must have been so fun. It must have been so fun to share in the joy, just like physically be together. I think that, also because it's so much about like this unity and for everyone to be together and sing together. It feels every part of this film feels like meta. What's happened? Yeah,
I feel like it's almost like art is imitating life is imitating art.
Yeah.
I feel like K-pop Demon Hunters being in the theaters was so appropriate and deserved. I feel like it was something really meant for the big screen, and I feel like everyone that got to experience that felt the same thing as well. And a sing-along is so special and fun because usually in theaters you have to be like quiet and respect your neighbors. But everybody's screaming and dancing. There was just something really fun and special about it. And I was surprised because at this point you're like, haven't you seen it 100 times? Like,
not big.
Yeah.
No, because I remember too, when we had our first sing-along in LA, I was like, can I possibly get a few more tickets? Maybe some more. At this point, it's going to be me and 14 kids. Maybe I'd like to add a couple more moms so I don't lose any children.
Sure.
And I'm like, I also have a 25 kid wait list.
You're like, the whole theater is for me.
Like, no, literally. And I was like, I'm so sorry, but thank you. And oh boy, did my cousins did they all put on a show. But
well, there's also, when I went to see it, on top of kids singing along, there were kids having reactions to the plot. In particular,
yes.
So I've seen little girls screaming, kiss, kiss, kiss.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Oh my God, I have not seen that.
Oh my goodness. And
That's
then
so funny.
all the children reciting every single line.
Yeah.
Like,
you're right. They don't need the sing along. They know.
right.
It.
They know all the dialogue. And I will say, I was very impressed by like the amount of 5 to 7-year-old boys that knew all of Rumi's lines. And I'm just like, I don't even remember all my lines.
You're like, I was never off book.
Right. I'm like, this is incredible. And it's just so cute because you see them all like mouthing all the lines, which is really cute. And
well, let's pivot then into the K-pop Demon Hunters, genuinely amazing rock or amazing pop band, genuinely kick butt when it comes to actually fighting. Like, I'm curious if the K-pop Demon Hunters had a crossover where they had to fight another imaginary band, be it Josie and the Pussycats, or Four Town from Turning Red, Sex Bomb from Scott Pilgrim.
Oh my God.
Like,
I love that movie.
Right.
No fighting. Only demons.
Let's say it's a battle of the bands. Who do you think you could blow out of the water, fictional band-wise?
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to say all of them because Huntrix are girls. I mean, please. Will they blow them away with their voices or with their fashion or with their fighting skills? I mean, come on.
And like, did you see them on Jimmy Fallon last night?
How it's done. I watched this movie and have wardrobe envy over and over again.
Oh, so do we.
Is there a particular item that you're like, if I could pull that out of the movie and just make mine, I would make mine?
Robe.
Girl,
I we could do that.
Her golden outfit.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that. And I love when she's on that what's that like circle thing where she spins?
Oh yeah, just like the hoop.
Yeah, the hoop.
Yeah.
That moment. I'm like,
You want the hoop?
I want that moment.
Yeah.
I want to spin on the hoop.
I know. I want some aerial.
Wear that, but
We'll
I
work
can't
on
wear
that for next time. I love that.
Yeah.
Very excited to have you here. Thank you so much for coming by. We love talking about the movie with you, and we're excited to see what's coming up next, both for K-pop Demon Hunters and for both of you.
Thank you so much.
We'll be keeping an eye out.